Hi, I'm Mark, and Subliteral Network is my channel. I make art and comics, and you're very welcome to come in. Remember to hit like and subscribe, and to leave your feedback in the comments. You can read my comics Una the K Bunny and Tiger Team 3 free at radiocomics.com. All these links are in the description. I post daily, 5 days a week, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And this is a roundup of that work, in case you missed it, with a little more detailed description added. This is Night Vale from Bill Black's FemForce comics. And I drew a few FemForce comics for Bill back in the day, and I did a little story recently for him. And I've always found Night Vale really hard to draw because she's got a lot of stuff going on. She's got she's got a hood, she's got the hair, the mask, the stockings with the little skulls on them, just a lot of different things to draw on her. Plus, at the same time, she has to look like beautiful and mysterious. And for some reason, all those elements put together, everything has to work when you're drawing Night Vale, or when I'm drawing Night Vale. So if one little thing doesn't work, it kind of throws everything off. And with this picture, I managed to kind of get everything done to my satisfaction, and I really like the way it came out. So it's drawn on tone tan paper with ink, Copic color marker, so white china crayon, and a little white paint here and there. Drawing Una the Cave Bunny, I came up with these flying cave bunnies. They flew on the backs of pterosaurs, and they were like a foot smaller or something than the other cave bunnies in the story. You know, they were light enough for the pterosaurs to carry around, and I draw them a lot because they hardly wear anything to keep the weight down. And somehow there's a lot of stories in my head that kind of come out with them because they're distinct, they're savage, and they're more likely to get in fights and commit violence than the other cave bunnies in the comic. So of course, there's a lot more opportunities for conflict and stuff when writing stories about them. And they are all women due to the fact that there was a split in the society. And some of them took off, and apparently one of their big problems is finding men who usually run away from them because they're on flying dinosaurs and they're screaming and yelling and waving spears, which is not something that is particularly attractive. So that's how these flying cave bunnies kind of came about and what they do. And I like to draw them when I can. And I'm hoping pretty soon I can get some stories going that feature them again. This is part of some fully penciled page work that I'm doing, sort of in the full-blown adventure style. Muscular men, beautiful women, and everybody pushing buttons in kind of a high-tech environment. Let's see, this is the whole page, and I wanted to make sure that I got like a kind of an advanced jet look going. And because I do most of my own inking, I don't usually produce full pencils. But I think, if you're working with an inker, that's something that you're probably going to have to do if you want your page to look the way that you're designing it to look. So that is the reason that this page is fully penciled like this. And I'd like to do more because it helps you to think, it helps you to draw better, I think. It helps you to design better, to work your pencils out fully on some level or another. Like, you might not get in there and fill in the blacks with, pencil like I did. And under time constraints, deadlines and stuff, you probably wouldn't be able to do that as much as you would like to do. But that is sort of an example of what a fully penciled page is really more or less supposed to end up looking like. Room for word balloons, which people always forget, and I forget that a lot too. But you have to almost put a post-it note up and say, leave room for dialogue balloons and captions when you're doing pages. Otherwise, they're just going to go over all that stuff that you spent drawing anyway. And it looks better when you leave room and compose so that your figures and all the stuff that you're drawing isn't obscured by words and dialogue. Ink drawing of my Terminator lady, who she shows up now and again. I love this whole dumb idea again of the Terminator lady, and I went for a lot of vascularity in her gigantic muscly arms this time. And it just sort of really it added so much. I love that, I'll draw like these big muscle filled characters. And not so often will I draw really muscle filled vascular characters. You can overdo it, and I try not to. But I really loved that that kind of stuff works on her. The bigger and the more over the top that I draw her, just the better she looks and the more like a Terminator she looks.